One of the things that I am super interested in, and I want to get your take, is the hands-off protests. Now, these protests were massive. Now, some people in Russian media were like, this is a color revolution. And it's like, shut up. Shut up.
It was organized by Libs. There is no revolution happening there.
Well, right. So this,
protests said it was Boston. It was not Boston. There, it was an unrelated protest. But what you are looking at right
now, let's be clear. This is AstroTurf. These people didn't just get out of bed in the morning and say, you know what? I think I'm just going to organically go and, scream at the president. No, it was organized by, let's say, like various groups, MoveOn.org, many of which are Democratic linked.
Yeah.
They were holding signs up that was like hands off NATO, which is just astonishing, like basically pro-war signs, hands off Zelensky, hands off this, hands off that.
That's right. Those are not our people.
Right. Now, there would be people say hands off Social Security, etc. But these people were effectively, this was organized. It wasn't like organic.
What does that tell you?
Well, the Democrats are trying to find a way to push back against Trump using Trump's excesses as a way to do it, which is what they should do, I suppose. But that doesn't do anything for me.
Well, that's what it proves to me. What it proves to me is that they're capable of doing something if they wanted to. So all of this shows to me. So they had what, like 1 million people, they said overall, like there was
massive. Yeah.
Right. So in other words, the Libs are completely capable of making a stand if they want to. So let's note that, note that in your head. Now, there are some other organizations that jumped on that, which I appreciate. You had, your Palestine, you other anti-war, the people that are our people that took advantage of those too. And great. But the majority of, at least, I think it was very location dependent, because down here in South Florida, it was all old white people with hands off Social Security and just anti-Trump, anti-Musk. Yeah. I was one of 2 people there that was representing hands off Gaza. You know what I mean?
Really?
Right. Oh, there was and that's very location dependent though. But this is in, Hollywood, Florida. So it's pretty tribe.
Now, I've heard some people say that they went and they weren't allowed to speak on the issue of Gaza.
Yeah.
Like they were being iced out.
I walked around in this, and throughout a whole bunch of people that I know are probably Zionists. They weren't there for that reason. They were there anti-Trump, anti-Musk, and not the rabid running around with Israeli flag, but people that were raised like me. Okay. And I got the stink eye from I don't care, but nobody had the balls to open their mouth and say anything. So I walked through like the whole circle of anti-Trump, anti-Musk people, just wearing my keffiyeh and my Jews for Palestine shirt, which I'm sure really pleased them all. and I found one other person. And I know they hate it. But they were there really just for their, when the white people are out like that, the older white people, really what's happened is they're looking out for their own interest, right? So it's a Social Security thing. It's the taxes. It's all of the things that, oh my God, this could hurt us. So that's when they show up. But the point is, it shows that they can if they give a shit.
That is the catch, right? And, I was curious whether they would for Social Security, because that's usually a third rail. You have the world's richest man going after some of the poorest people and the most needy in this country. And I kept saying, that man is an albatross. Like Donald Trump is running around with him like this, like a little gimp or something. It's like, well, the albatross. Like he's not a positive indicator or positive factor for Donald Trump. No. He's awkward. For one, he's the world's richest man. And the things that he's effectively doing, this idea of, I'm just getting waste, fraud, and abuse. Dude, they're trying to get like $800 billion out of Medicaid. And they are dummying the numbers up to try to find a way to give themselves higher tax cuts. And I'll go further. The tariffs that Donald Trump is talking about, we're going to get $1 trillion in tariffs. What do you think they're getting the money for? Tax cuts. It's not for us. It's not like he's going to say, all right, I'm now writing a check to America. It's not that. It's now we can have tax cuts. And when you get your $3, you're going to be very happy about it. It's that.
Yeah.
But these guys are going to get billions and millions from those tax cuts while they gut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, Department of Education, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. But isn't it glorious? It's like we're in the most mask off moment that you could ever anticipate. And I've said this before, as much as I think Donald Trump is disgusting, I really do. Like, I've never liked him, but he's not the problem. Actually, he, in my mind, is the best representation I can think of what we are in the world. Can you think of somebody that better represents the United States in the world than that buffoon? Because I think that that's who we are to the world. And so why not own it? And I actually think that the reason people hate him as much as they hate him is Psych 101. It's like looking in a mirror. And even though he is loud and brash and gross and represents like the worst of us, he's us. Make no mistake, he's us. So it's like, I think that really freaks people out. Now, me, I'm just enjoying the show because we need to hit rock bottom for enough of these people to give a shit and get in the streets. So every one of these cuts, every one of these veterans that is lost their job, these are all just more Luigi Mangiones. So just keep it up, man. And the thing about Elon Musk is I'm waiting for him to be Mangioned. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Because nobody is untouchable. And these people are going around at this point, mask off, bragging about how this guy who's not even from our country, the richest man in the world, and he's sitting there digging through our purse. Like, that's pissing off the people on the right. That's pissing off the red people. And this is the thing. Trump doesn't ever give a shit about pissing off the blue people. He doesn't care. He lives for that. In fact, the blue people are Mick resistance anyway. Nobody cares about the blue people. Yeah. But now he's pissing off the red people and they're armed. So this is where the revolution comes from. I have said it. Trump facilitates the revolution and I'm here for it because all of these things were inevitable. Just with Kamala, it would have been like a slow escalator descent. With Trump, it's like a free fall into Capitol hell, but that's where this is going. And it was happening regardless.
Jen,
so that's I'm off the end at this point. You can see.
You're speaking to my heart. I've had this conversation with my mom also, and I think I sounded a lot like you.
Good. That's what people need to understand.
It sounds brutal, but
yes,
he is the representation of America. I mean, like for example, when Joe Biden is like, yeah, if Russia goes in, we're going to blow up the pipeline. And the German chancellor was standing right there. And he's effectively saying, we're going to have a mass act of terrorism on your pipeline. And you're just going to sit here and not say anything about it. Yeah. Okay, well, Trump will say something very similar, even though he may be more brash about it. Or we're going to take out the Palestinians, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, well, that was Joe Biden's policy also. Right. Joe Biden was just trying to be more quiet about it as he was trying to do it. Like this brashness, you're vassals. And I'm going to show you how much you're vassals by putting a tariff on all of you, despite the fact that you're supposed to be allies of ours. Okay, that's brash, right? And I guess my feeling is I wanted the Democratic Party smashed. I wanted them smashed to bits, to smithereens.
They are.
And they are. Donald Trump has got to do it. However, the excesses of Donald Trump allows them to stand there and just point, hey, he's going after Social Security, put me back in. Hey, he's going after Medicare, put me back in.
It's not going to work.
Well, in doing so, they have no substance. Nothing has changed. No. They're still this worthless, burning house that they were before. But now they have this bonus of, he's grotesque, put me back in. Now, the catch becomes, as Garland pointed out, the polling for both were going down simultaneously, which is wild. I guess people, when they go vote, regardless of what they say, end up having this esoteric other, as I call it. I would vote for this person, but what is this other person that I don't know going to do? And I don't want to waste my vote. So even though I don't like either, I'll vote for this guy or this woman. And it's like, oh, this sucks. I wanted them smashed to smithereens where there may be a moment of recognition, a moment like 3 a.m. between them and their God. And
you're more generous than me. I just like the first part. I don't care if they have a moment. I care if their moment's out the door. And they have been smashed to smithereens. The only thing is, it's not apparent yet. So, you know, like when you crack a windshield and it's just cracked, and it's just waiting to completely one hit and it'll completely fall apart. That's where the Democrats are right now. They are smashed. They are losing numbers. They are desperate. When you, like, I look at things like these marches, these, you know, hands-off marches. That's just part of Democratic strategy to keep people in this limbo where there's nowhere else to go. Just like Bernie and AOC on their anti-oligarchy tour. What are they doing? What is your message? The same thing as Gavin Newsom having his little podcast and going on with Charlie Kirk and videos of them like they're fighters. All of this shit is Democrats trying to rebrand themselves, and it's not going to work. Now, I will like concede that Donald Trump could be way down. He could be so down in the polls. I don't care how far down he is in the polls. We're done in this country seeing a back and forth like it's a 50-50. Like every 2 years they're in charge. Every 2 years they're in charge. It might trickle a little here and there. I do not think you're going to see another Democratic president in this country because no matter how pissed off people are at the Republicans, the Democrats are feckless and everyone knows it. And so even though they might not be Republican, they're not going with those guys either. And I think those days are over. They're not going to be able to fundraise on women's rights anymore. They're not going to be able to it's over for them. And I couldn't be more pleased.